Good morning. Happy Monday. It is about 5:35 and we are headed out to the gym. So when I get back, we'll discuss what's for our first meal and talk about what I cooked over the weekend. See you then. All right, guys, I am back from the workout. It was a really good workout. My legs are still feeling it. It was leg day. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I do have some new people cycling in and out and all of that. And I'm just going to do today probably what I'm going to call a recap, a very condensed recap of my journey. But before I do that, I did cook some things over the weekend and I want to show you guys. So first off, in here, I don't know if you can see it very well. Let me kind of angle it differently, maybe like that. So I have some pork chop, and under the pork chop is some chicken. So it's chicken breast. So that's that. I have some ground beef. And I cooked some cauliflower rice with some broccoli in it. So that's kind of what I've meal prepped. And I also have, let me show you guys. Where did I put it? Sorry about the noise. Sorry. I also have some of these. So I'm set. Sorry about that angle. As far as food, and if you hear some noise, it is my fan over the oven going because I was cooking something this morning and I was upstairs working and didn't hear the alarm. And of course, it burned and the house smells like something burned. So that's that. But I'm going to get to my first meal and I'll show you that meal. And we're going to get into a recap of my journey. And for some of you guys, this is old stuff. And for some of you guys, you've never heard it. So I'll be doing that. And I will see you guys in a minute. Okay, guys, I'm here in my office. So let's talk about my first meal. I made myself some keto oatmeal. I put some of the chicken breast in it. I put some sunflower seeds and walnuts. So this is a very high caloric breakfast. It's going to be very satiating. So let's take a gander. Oh, some cinnamon. So that's what it looks like. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and eat and do a few things for work. And we're going to come back and I'm going to have a quick discussion with you guys. So I will be back. All right, everyone, let's have a quick recap about me. So I am 54 years old, and as long as I can remember, I have always been overweight. Even at my lowest weight, going to the doctor, I remember being like 120 some odd pounds and the doctor saying, you're overweight, you need to get yourself closer to 100. So just for reference, I have technically always been overweight. I didn't realize my weight started ballooning until I would say around my 30s. I don't think there was any change in how I ate or my activities. I was going through a very stressful time in my life with my mom being diagnosed with cancer and all of that. So it was really hard for me. And it just seemed like my weight just kept snowballing and snowballing and snowballing and snowballing. Okay, and I was originally in Los Angeles, California. I was born and raised there. I didn't come to Seattle, Washington until 2002, early part of 2002. Um, and by then, I want to say I was teetering around maybe 200. Um, a few years passed. It didn't get any better. Um, I can clearly remember one day walking out of my job and just walking, just here's the building and the door, and here's the street, for crossing the street. And I'm walking and getting there, and it's like I was in so much pain from my back, and I was huffing and puffing. It's like, oh my God, I can't keep doing this. This is horrible. I lost a little bit of weight, just from calorie counting, but of course that didn't last long. Um, I went to my daughter's graduation a few years later after that, and I was still overweight. I was really proud, and I'm like, okay, I've never flown first class before. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go first class as a treat myself. It was the worst experience I had ever had. I sit down, the seat belt could not fit. I was mortified. I was mortified. I think tears kind of started coming out my eyes. And I remember the gentleman next to me was like, are you okay? Are you going to be okay? And I think he was worried because he thought I was scared to fly. But in reality, I was just too through. I was too through. I'm flying first class and the seatbelt doesn't fit. So I was too embarrassed to ask for an extender. I just kind of sat there. I took my jacket and pulled it over me. And you wouldn't see that I didn't have the seatbelt, fastened and all that. And I did not move out of that seat until I landed. So I get there with my daughter. The next day is her graduation. And she's dressed up and she's looking nice. She has her cap and gown and everything. I could not keep up with her walking. It was insane. I felt like I was always like 30 feet behind or something. Then we get there, she showed me where I had to sit, and it's just like it was bleachers. I'm just like, holy, like, F me. It's like, I knew in my head, okay, I'm going to fall trying to go walk down them, or I'm going to start walking back up and I'm going to fall. So I sat down, and I wanted to say my brother ended up showing up and said, oh, well, the family's on the other side. And I told him, I'm like, oh, well, this is a really good spot. I can see very well. But that wasn't far from the truth. I did not want to get up and walk all the way over to the other side and risk falling. It was just that bad. And after that, the next day, my daughter sat me down. She did something that actually saved my life. She sat me down and told me how she was worried about me. She was afraid I was going to die in my sleep, and I had to do something. Now, my daughter is a Capricorn. She's not mean, but she's very straightforward and matter of fact. And I'm sitting there, and it was nothing I could say to rebut any of it, because everything she was saying was the truth. She's like, I'm really worried. You're snoring very loud. You're very overweight. And it's just, I think after that is when my health journey actually started. And I've been on it ever since. My first thought is, oh God, I got to get this weight off really quickly. I actually called Sanabello. So, okay, well, maybe I can have liposuction or whatever. I call them, and the lady takes my information. Then she says, well, I'm sorry, we won't be able to help you because your BMI is way too high for us to assist you. I felt crushed. I went to my doctor, went back and forth, and she talked about a healthy eating plan. And in between that too, she also talked about having weight loss surgery because I was a good candidate for it. So I started getting that ball rolling for the weight loss surgery. As you know, it's phases for it. You have to do this orientation. You have to then do psychiatric evaluation. And looking back in hindsight, that was BS. Because if you're going in for weight loss surgery and they're doing an evaluation, it should be a thorough one. Now, the only thing they were super strict on, and you could not get that surgery, is if you were a smoker and a drinker. You had to completely cut that out, period. No questions asked. But they were doing the evaluation. They never got around to what got you to that position, and why you're overweight and how you're going to conquer it. So I thought, to me, looking back at that part of it, they should do a better job when it comes to the psychological evaluations. But I got the surgery. Now, it was a good tool. It did have some side effects for me, but it was a good tool. So the side effects I had was I had a lot of loss of hair. I remember having nice thick hair, and it's not that anymore. It never really ever came back the way it was post-surgery. So I had really nice thick hair. It thinned out a whole lot. My digestive system is a little out of whack. Well, quite a bit out of whack, but I work with it and I'm used to it now. I had that surgery. I dropped the weight pretty quickly, but if you don't conquer your demons and what's going on psychologically and how you got there, you will gain the weight. It's not a magic pill. It is not a magic pill. So I actually had to start conquering a whole lot of demons and really get strict with myself to start losing the weight. And I'm still on that journey. I'm down 100 and I can't remember now. 120 maybe. At my highest, I was 275. Yeah, 275. So right now I'm lingering at that 160 something mark. And I'm having a hard time getting out of the 160. So I'm going to have to really buckle down. But it's, there is no magic pill to losing weight. In between that, all of that, and it was before, I think, the weight loss surgery, I actually had a mild stroke. And you would have thought that would have been a wake-up call for me, but no. That wake-up call wasn't until my daughter sat me down and had a conversation with me. I became pre-diabetic, and thank God, knock on wood, that I didn't go full on diabetes. So I was able to catch it in time and get it under control. So I go over this because I have new subscribers and they don't know my history, but I've come a long ways and I'm still on that journey because the body is always used to what you used to do. It takes just a couple times of slipping up and your body is like, oh, I'm back in my comfort zone. And you go back to old ways. So once you get on that journey, you are continuously on that journey. Not that you have to be always so strict, but you have to be cognizant that sometimes things can slip you up and you can fall back into your old ways and old habits, and you just don't want to do that. And for me, I know I have to be cognizant of how much sleep I get. If I don't get enough sleep, it's going to show the next day on the scale. My hormones are out of whack, it's going to show. I don't drink enough water, it's going to show. I start eating crazy, it's going to show. So you're always having to be cognizant of your behaviors so that you don't slip back into your old ways. So that's kind of a small snapshot of where I was and where I'm at now. So where I'm at now is me. I'm going to the gym regularly. I was paying for a gym membership for years. I mean, years. And I just started going regularly. Well, it's been the last, I want to say maybe 2 years, a little bit more. I've been on that regular schedule routine of going to the gym, and it's become a habit for me. Um, Watching what I eat. Now, does that mean sometimes I don't slip up? Of course I do, but I have to be cognizant of, wait a minute, I'm starting to go down this path. What's going on? I talk to myself. I'm like, okay, well, what's going on? What are your emotions? So are you eating your emotions, or what's going on here? So I have to really work hard to make sure I don't fall into my old ways and old habits that got me to an unhealthy state of being. And it's not easy. It is not easy changing your ways. I can remember times of me breaking down, crying, because it was so hard and the cravings were so strong, and I had to just write it out. It was not fun. And I think a lot of times when it comes to getting yourself into a healthier habit, that is the hard part of making it a habit. And it's going to be hard when you start making something a habit, something new, because your body is used to the old ways and it wants to continue that way. So, yeah, I remember just breaking down, being in tears sometime, telling my significant other, no, I can't join you at this outing because knowing me, if I go to this restaurant, I'm going to be ordering X, Y, Z and blah, 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 and just going off the rails, period. So it was I went through some hell. I mean, it's literal hell trying to get myself into a healthy habit. And sometimes that's what you have to do. And a lot of times people don't want to go through that difficult part to get to the other side. But there's no way around it. There isn't. There's no way around it. You have to do it. Especially when you've been so addicted to all that bad stuff. And my drugs of choice was always like sugary stuff and breads and pastas. But I would pick breads and stuff over everything. Addicted to it. So I say this to let you know, if you are struggling and you're trying to get, from that bad side to the good side, you're not alone. And yes, I understand what you're going through. Just because I might be here and you're there, I was once there and even further back. So I totally get it, how hard it is, but just know you are worth it. You are worth getting up every day, looking in the mirror, saying that you love yourself, and today's going to be a good day, and you're going to treat yourself well. You're not going to eat all that junk. You're going to drink your water. You're going to move your body, and you're going to surround yourself with positive people. Now, surrounding yourself with positive people does not mean surrounding yourself with yes people. Let me say that again. Surrounding yourself with positive people does not mean surrounding yourself with yes people. Sometimes if you're going off the rails, you're going to need someone to help rein you in. And you can't get mad at them. If they're helping you, saying, oh, I see you're doing this and you're going for this and you're getting a lot of this. Are you okay? What's going on? Do you want to talk? You can't yell at them and get mad. They're trying to help you. So as a matter of fact, you should have as many people that is willing to tell you the truth around you as possible. You don't need enablers around you telling you, oh, you're doing good. Oh, just one or two of them you're going to be okay. No. Some things you may learn to eat in moderation. Moderation is not every day. Moderation is not every single week. Some things you may have to take out of your diet completely if it continues to trigger you. And only you know that. If you get something and you cannot stop eating it, And it's something that's not really good for you to begin with. Something that's sugary, high in carbs, all that stuff. Fast food and all of it. You will live without it. If you never had another fast food in your mouth, you'll be okay. If you never had another candy bar, a piece of pie, some cake, some candy, some bread, all that stuff, you will be fine. You'll be fine. You'll live. Now, do you want those things? Yes. Do you need them? No, you don't need them. So that's just me telling you about part of my journey. I hope this was helpful because I did a video somewhat like this, but it's been, I'm thinking about a year or more. So instead of saying, oh, if you want to know about my journey, go back to blah, 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 I'm just updating you here on where I started and where I'm at. So I hope this was helpful, and I will be back and I'll be showing you my next meal. Alright guys, because this video is already kind of long, I'm going to wrap it up now. Normally I go over all my food, so quickly I had some cauliflower rice with smoked sausage, and I also had a chicken wrap. No, it was a ranch chicken wrap from the chicken that I made, I showed you guys earlier. So that was my meal, but mostly this video was dedicated to going over a little bit of my history. So I'm wrapping this up, getting the video up, and please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.